Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Saturday mornings 9 a.m. Sriram Seshadri time, English. We are seeing some amazing things happen in Tamil Nadu, although they do a lot of excitement and then suddenly nothing comes of it. Let's hope that this one is for real. Let's welcome Sriram Seshadri. We're going to talk about three important topics. Sriramji, Namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel. How are you?
Sir, Namaskaram. Namaskaram to all the PGurus viewers. I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Sir, I'm doing well, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is the ED raid on TASMAC. Sriramji, the question on everyone's lips: is there a similarity between what's happening in TASMAC, what happened in Delhi liquor scam? If so, what happened to Kejriwal is going to happen to MK Stalin? This is the question on everybody's lips. So I'm going to start this by asking you this question. Please tell us what are the 6 differences or similarities?
Now, I would just totally say that in front of TASMAC liquor scam, Delhi and Chhattisgarh liquor scam is, peanuts. Peanuts, it's not even comparable. I'll tell you the reason why. I will quote from none other than PTR 𝗤𝗙 𝗤𝗖𝗏, right? Because, if I say something, then our D-stocks and everybody would say that, oh, I'm a Sanghi who keeps talking about this. But, what happens is, sir, when ADMK is in power, their related party whose distilleries get the 60% contract of TASMAC, 40% goes to DMK's, distilleries. When the regime switches, they are hand in glove, in my opinion. So 60-40 alone changes. The 60% goes to the DMK, 40% goes to the ADMK related. I'm just going to use the word related parties because most of the time, if you go back to the distilleries and then find out, who owns this, it's a mess. It is a huge, net of ownership. And then it may land at the doorstep of the party supremo, okay, especially in this case, maybe with Karunanidhi period onwards, that SNJ distilleries have a lot of connections with late Chief Minister Karunanidhi. So we'll leave that nitty-gritties to ED to find out who owns this, how the money is transferred. But what happens is, PTR 𝗤𝗙 𝗤𝗏, when he was a finance minister, he said there is a huge leakage of state revenue because of the lack of recording and transaction monitoring on TASMAC shops, which means he talked about 30,000 crores to the tune of 20 to 30,000 crores minimum, but he doesn't have the number on his hand. But there have been other journalistic reports and investigative report which says that equal amount of money earned by the government through profit. I'm just saying through profit, because most of the time what happens when the Dravidian stocks, when I say Tamil Nadu state is dependent on TASMAC revenue, they say immediately, doesn't UP have a liquor revenue? Doesn't Maharashtra, Gujarat have Gujarat at least very limited, but Maharashtra or in any other BJP ruled states, don't they get a liquor revenue? That is excise and sales tax. That is over and above the profit earned, which is about in this year budget, I think about 50,000 crores profit earned to the exchequer through the sale of TASMAC, which means even if you assume that 20% is the profit margin, so there is a sale of 250,000 crores of liquor being sold in the state, and 50,000 crores is the profit earned. Maybe, put it at 10%, then the equation is different, right? 125,000 crores worth of stock is saying. So I will take whatever the number, okay? But 50,000 crores of profit is earned by the government. Over and above that, there is a sales tax that they earn and a devolution on the excise duty that they get, which is equal number, almost, another 30,000 crores comes to the exchequer just by the liquor sale. Now let's come to where the scam is. TASMAC godowns supply to the 4,000 odd, 4,500 odd TASMAC shops. The cases, all the liquor bottles or liquor supply happens from the godowns. From the distilleries, what comes into account of TASMAC is just only 50%. For example, if 10 lakh cases are sold by, say, in this case, 𝗟𝗡𝗍 distilleries or anybody, because 𝗟𝗡𝗍 is very prominent in the names that is coming, 𝗑𝗍 distilleries. These are the names that are coming in the ED's statement, or they went to the raid in these places also. So when 10 lakh cases come to TASMAC godown and then get supplied to TASMAC shops, literally 20 lakh cases are coming, goes to the shop, distributed at the shop. Collection is made in cash because TASMAC never sells on credit card or anything else. Collection is made in cash, returns to the godown. The actual stock that is received as not within the books of accounts, the money first goes to the distilleries. And then remaining alone is settled against the TASMAC's actual sale. Why? The FIFO basis, because first in, first out, the illicit money goes out. Then remaining alone comes to the TASMAC account. Can we imagine in the last 4 years, and then maybe concluding this regime, this government would have got anywhere close to taking PTR's number as 30,000 crores, anywhere close to about 1,50,000 crores additional profit. I'm talking about additional profit as per TASMAC's earning, whereas the distilleries would earn more because distilleries are not doing charity; they don't supply it at cost, so they would have maybe another equal amount of 1,50,000 crores. So the 3 lakh crores illicit margin earned, which doesn't come into the account. I want to just pause here so that it sinks into the people's mind. Why I said the Delhi liquor scam and Chhattisgarh liquor scam is peanuts in front of TASMAC. Peanuts. Yes, sir.
One question, Sriramji. I'm seeing parallels between this and the sand lorry scam also. They were underreporting the number of lorries of sand that was taken away, whereas the actual number appeared to have been double. And in that case, the Enforcement Directorate used satellite imagery to show the amount of rate of depletion of sand and things like that to make their case. Sriramji, they're doing a fantastic job of discovering the scam. My fear is what happens after that. Why don't you put away these guys for good and throw the keys in Bay of Bengal?
Yep. That's where the problem comes, Sree Iyer ji. All these findings, because TASMAC, this scam, even before the ED landed in the doorstep of TASMAC, which is a government-run department. I want to come to that later on. I'm just reiterating the word government-run department. I'll come back to that. But this scam has been unearthed by several other people. It's been in the news. And the government is too slow in taking an action. And even this raid came not because, probably any other reason, but one of the DMK sympathizer supplier distilleries not getting his business. I don't know who that person name is, because this is another rumor that has been coming in. This guy went and gave all the documentary evidence to the ED. And that is why, ED came to the TASMAC headquarters and various other godowns, where they would have found definitely the number of stock that is available but not meeting the or matching with the system. So that is why TASMAC shops don't have a computerized system where you can find out how much comes in, how much is sold, how much is the collection. And on top of this, there is a 10 or rupees, 20 rupees collected per bottle by the TASMAC sales at the time of sales. See, it will be mind-boggling, when I start saying these numbers, right? And on top of that, 4,500 illegal bars being run. A normal 10 rupee bottle water costs 20 rupees in that bar. Normal food that is outside, if you buy it, it will be costing 10-15 rupees. Say, for example, something like a egg omelette or something which costs about 25-30 rupees inside that bar. But you have no other choice but to have it. Unless otherwise you are able to buy the bottle, take it home, and then buy your own snacks and then have it. Imagine, if you have to consume that in the, bar itself. So look at the chain of collection that can happen, right? And then, once you drink from there and then come out of it, police just stands in the corner of that shop and then, takes a bribe there. So it's all huge amount of collection net happens from the poor drinkers, right? Consumers of liquor. But the volume is not just 1,000 crores that has been mentioned by the ED statement. The 1,000 crores, what they said is only a tip of the iceberg of transport contract awarded without tender, without PAN card, without Aadhaar card. A transport contract had been awarded to some XYZ. That is the only value of 1,000 crores. They didn't disclose what is the total value of the scam, but there are lots and lots of reports that have already come in where, how this amount is calculated. And the best, proof of the pudding is Mr. 𝗤𝗙𝗏 𝗤𝗏𝗡𝗏, who was a finance minister then. He knows that there is a leakage of 20 to 30,000 crores per year to the exchequer. He just made the statement openly saying that 20 to 30,000 crores of money is being lost in the exchequer. He vowed himself to bring a computerized system to TASMAC shops, and that's why he was shunted out. He was put into Information Technology Ministry, but still he cannot execute this because the request has to come from the different department. He is only a doer, not a decision maker. In this case, as a finance minister, he could have pushed for it. But then, someone who is above him came and told that, get out of this ministry because you are creating trouble. So I think this sinks in, and BJP government at the center, if they are serious, forget about, political rivalry and all. This is huge scam. And if they don't put the lid on the can, sand mafia case, we talked about at least a year or year and a half back about the sand mafia in the show, right? And the last 1 year I was irregular in the show. Before I went on my business trips to Europe and US, we talked about the sand mafia case. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. They could have proceeded on the case very easily. At least a charge sheet could have been filed. No actions. This case, once again, Senthil Balaji was arrested not because of the scam that he was doing in the liquor shops. He was arrested by the Supreme Court case where they directed. Otherwise, probably Senthil Balaji would not have been arrested at all. And now, at least, if they don't take any action, a quick closure, I think the faith of the people will come down drastically, against the government, against the ED department. And then, the popular statement used by most politicians are it's a, vindictive politics. And then, they are settling scores. They are using these ED and CBI as their, negotiating arm or threatening arm. I think that mindset, people will settle into that mindset. I think my sincere request through the show is to, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister, because ED comes under her, and then, to the government, is to pursue the case legally. You don't have to do anything out of turn. Pursue the case sincerely, legally, and faster way. Right? Like what happened with the Kejriwal. I think, people should, the agency should go much more stronger in this case. At least they have a very solid case in liquor scam. Let's see what happens.
Thank you so much, Sriramji. My dream is that whenever the Central Home Minister calls any state chief minister, that state chief minister should stand up and pick up the phone. That is how a Central Home Minister should be. If Patel was the Home Minister, that would have happened routinely. The reason I'm saying that is because there has to be that respect combined with fear. Here, I don't see that happening. And not only that, these people are continuing to lie through their teeth, continuing to do the same thing. Sriramji, there are so many things that I'm aware of where, this is not even corruption. They are indulging in anti-national activities, Sriramji. In the case of this 𝗤𝗏𝗍𝗍𝗍, I think that's the drug guy, right?
Right.
That network is controlling the entire, whatever you call the decision-making bodies here. I thought it was the other one, which was the Christian group. But looks like, not looks like, I have information. I don't want to say anything right now. I have got some information. Let me put it this way. They are also controlling them. Sir, it is, I don't know how, words are failing me, because this is beyond what a state government can do. This is beyond their capacity. And somebody did a calculation that the debt of the state of Tamil Nadu is 4.5 lakhs per person. Is this true, sir?
Yeah, that's right. We can talk about it at length, because yesterday the Tamil Nadu budget came about, and then there is a calculation that it's an empty rhetorical budget, in my opinion, because there are a lot of schemes announced without allocation, and they are planning to borrow about 162 lakh crores in the next 1 year. 160 lakh crores. If they borrow that, it'll currently the debt is about 8.35 lakh crores on the government. Maybe we are going to be nearing 10 lakh. Of course, they are going to repay 40,000 crores worth of loan, by borrowing 1,60,000, 1.6 lakh crores. They are going to repay about 40,000 crores. So the net debt will be 9.5 lakh crores, in my opinion, at end of the year, next financial year. And when DMK government took over, the debt was half. What from the independence 1947 to 2021, what Tamil Nadu state government borrowed, DMK government borrowed in 4 years. So suppose, Sree Iyer, if all these borrowings is to build infrastructure. So let me give a little bit analogy for our viewers, a simple analogy. If I am earning 1 lakh as my monthly income, let's say, or rather yearly income for a simplicity's sake, and then pay about 30,000 rupees towards my house EMI, and about 10,000 rupees towards my vehicles EMI, which is my borrowing, and then I run my home with about 50 to 60,000 rupees, I'm very well within my ability, very well within my budget, right? Whereas, even if I were to borrow beyond my earning capacity, right? Suppose my household income is 70,000 rupees, and my EMI repayment, or borrowing and then EMI repayment is for another 40,000 rupees. I am above my earning capacity, 10,000 rupees above my earning capacity. At least even there, all I need to do is bridge that gap, because I have an asset that is getting built. But can you imagine, I earn 1 lakh rupees, but I spend about 1,50,000 rupees to even survive. That's what is happening in Tamil Nadu. That's what is happening in West Bengal, Punjab, but at least West Bengal, Punjab are pulling the strings back. But this is what is happening in Tamil Nadu. There, maybe Sachin can bring up my tweet yesterday. I just put one tweet on just this calculation alone. The devil is in the details. There is about 2,49,000 crore earning. Let me just pull that out.
Yeah, we will pull it up, sir. No worries. He's working on it.
Okay, fine. The total revenue of the their own capacity, what the government is earning, Tamil Nadu state government is earning, is about.
It's up.
Yep. Thank you. 2,49,714 crores is their earning, state's own revenue receipts. And the revenue expenditure, I want to just reiterate the word revenue expenditure, is 3,40,374 crores. Okay, this 2,49,714 is excluding the central tax share and grants. Grants, once again, cannot be taken by the state because grants are specific schemes. So central tax transfer is about another 40,000 crores or so. You are still short of 50,000 crores just to survive. Just to survive. So you need to borrow 50,000 crores to even meet your ends. On top of that, one needs to borrow for capital expenditure. On top of that, one need to return the borrowed money in certain intervals whenever it is coming due. So we are borrowing more and then giving it back. We are borrowing more and then giving back. The State Planning Commission Deputy Chief said day before yesterday, since the GSDP is growing, debt is increasing. That's a ridiculous argument, Sree Iyer ji, because you are given a leeway to borrow up to 29% of your GSDP. Previously, it was 26%. During COVID, this was increased to 29% of your GSDP. The moment you cross it, you are announced as insolvent state, right? So you are allowed to borrow up to 29%. Doesn't mean that you must borrow. So the argument that my GSDP is increasing and hence I go and borrow is not cutting ice. A prudent financial management, fiscal management calls for, and immediately what these people talk about, the center's GDP to debt to GDP ratio is 85%. Center has a right to borrow even beyond the GDP. For example, the developed nations like US has about 240% GDP debt to GDP ratio. Japan has about 140%. We are far, far better than any other grown economy with respect to this borrowing. And one can look at from the budget of central, our national budget, most of this borrowing goes for infrastructure construction, not for day-to-day operation survival. Whereas the state's borrowing is for survival, not for infrastructure. Suppose if you are borrowing about 10 lakh crores to build an infrastructure, automatically the GSDP will grow 7 times. Absolutely fine with that. Say, so for example, if it is 1,60,000 crores is to be borrowed next year for the purpose of infrastructure building, GSDP for the state would be about 6 to 7 lakh crores more. That's not happening. So here I'm borrowing to even survive and stay afloat. I think that is where all these, the paper tigers of financial, analysts should be worried about. As per that, as Tamil Nadu is not alone. Punjab is already in the brink. West Bengal has already crossed its brink. Whereas some of the states like Gujarat gives a surplus budget. I think recently UP gave a surplus budget, if I'm not wrong. Immediately these people say that, center gives all the grants to them. No, grants does not mean surplus. Surplus budget is from your own revenue to revenue. Of course, the devolution...
Revenue to expenditure.
Yeah, revenue to expenditure. The devolution receipt also taken as a revenue, but not the grants when you talk about a surplus budget. I think people should realize this. We are sinking ship. I think, that is why all of us are concerned about this. And with all these earnings that they are making as a scam, actually the Tamil Nadu state debt can be paid overnight. Paid overnight.
Sriramji, if you're done with this topic, I have one observation to make.
Yeah.
Then we can move on. Sir, please finish your thought on this subject.
Yeah, I'm done on this topic. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So viewers, one wonders, right? So the usual avenues by which money was being taken out, those things have been cut. Modi has done that. Let's assume that has happened. Yet money is still leaving the shores of India. And how is that happening? So here is a hint. Okay, I'm not saying this is exactly what is happening. but here is a hint. It's a very broad hint also. What happened yesterday was, I'm going to show a small slide deck, Sriramji, with your permission. Sure. There is this guy by the name of Alexsej Besiokov. He was arrested in India. You know what he was doing, sir? He was running a money laundering, sanctions and unlicensed money transmitting business. And he was caught in Kerala. His company name is 𝗟𝗡𝗥𝗏. You know what this is? This is exactly like Bitcoin, sir. These people have set up Hawala in India, which will receive Bitcoin in exchange for rupees, and vice versa. You remember that, Kejriwal was jumping up and down like a frog when they wanted to get access to his iPhone?
Yeah.
And the theory given was that, look, this guy has all his Bitcoins on his iPhone. Kejriwal is smart, IRS guy. Either he taught these people. See, this is how now money is doing the round. One is this, there's another thing that's also happening, and that's actually more secure. I've written a book about that. That's coming in about 3 to 4 months' time. Just give me some time. I have to do the edits myself. So that is the other way in which this is happening. Stunning, sir. If they just properly report all their earnings, Tamil Nadu will be a surplus state.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this Bitcoin menace is huge. For some reason, Madam Nirmala Sitharaman taxed Bitcoin in some way or the other, but that doesn't mean that Bitcoin is, Bitcoin is used, or this cryptocurrencies are used as, the way to hide your scam money, and then freely flow through it, right? So one need to arrest this. I think it's a global phenomenal problem. It's just not only for India. It's a global problem.
So, Sriramji, sorry, sir. Sorry to cut you off, because this is something that perhaps this audience may or may not know, because I've done this thing with a couple of experts from abroad. I'll be going back to this, viewers. What is going to happen is, US is probably going to go to a dual dollar model, a domestic US dollar backed against gold on blockchain. So they know where the domestic dollar is going, and there will be an international dollar for international transactions. By doing this, what happens is, of course, the international dollar will start dropping fairly quickly. What will happen is that this other currency that and they will finish off Bitcoin and any other digital currency. I don't think they are going to allow any of that to go on. It's easy. If US one side there is a party and there is a counterparty. If one side closes the loop, game over.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. India should close their one side, right? Then the Hawala transaction has to happen physically, right? They can take it to Dubai or Singapore and then trade on Bitcoins and then keep it on that. But somewhere the money has to go out, right? Now the money going out is very, very easy through the Bitcoin. The retail Bitcoin surge happens only because of this, the Hawala nexus. Otherwise, the retail Bitcoin surge, the price surge will not happen. And then, this is actually dooming several economies. And then, somewhere, the entire whole of world, at least, India should be a Vishwaguru on stopping this menace. Somewhere, they need to think about it, stop it, because they don't know how to, maybe, they are struggling to stop it. But somewhere they need to just declare Bitcoin trading and Bitcoin holding is illegal. Very simple. Then you could be arrested for holding it. Convert it. I'll give you 3 months time, convert everything. Otherwise, whatever you are holding is illegal. Then it becomes an interesting game.
Sriramji, the first step that needs to happen is that they need to shut out all the Hawala operators. They know who the Hawala operators are. It's the same person who does match fixing money. He does betting on cricket. The same person does laundering. The same person does Hawala, where the money comes to your home and the money gets remitted somewhere outside the country. All these things are, the nodal point is that Hawala person. Maybe 500, maybe 1,000, maybe 10,000 people. It doesn't matter. Sir, this is the reason I brought up this Crypto King arrest because he's right now in custody in Delhi.
Mm.
So what US wants him because this guy is a Russian national, and the other his partner is another Russian guy who they are trying to get hold of. It's okay. If one guy is caught, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Now is the time for India to say, okay, we need expertise to catch all these things. Give us the software so we can find out. US has all the software.
True.
And if they have that, it's game over. So there are experts of Indian American origin who are the pioneer guys, top guys in blockchain and Bitcoin and digital currency. Balaji Srinivasan, fantastic guy. And he was the CTO of Coinbase. Coinbase is like a repository for Bitcoin. It's an officially approved thing. In fact, it is so safe that the US government, when it catches bad guys trading things with Bitcoin and they confiscate the Bitcoins, all those Bitcoins of the US government, the treasury, are in Coinbase. So what I'm saying is this is a US approved entity for which this person was the CTO. Right now, I don't think he's working there. He's just doing, like me, he's also doing blogging and all other stuff. I mean, you need to tap these people. They can easily put this thing in no time at all. Why I'm saying this is, if you cut off all the ways in which the money can leave the country, right, then corruption will automatically go down, because what are you going to do? You can't eat it.
No, storing is going to be a major issue.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, it is just stored in one single app.
Yeah. So anyway, so these are all just thoughts for the government. I know I'm very good at giving unasked for advice. It's up to them whether they want to take it or not. But these are all available. These are options available. You guys don't, I don't know. I mean, PMO doesn't talk to me or anything. Sometimes they listen, I think. But these are all things that you can do to make your life easy. Let me put it that way. Make your life easy. Sir, let's go to the next topic. The center is taking DMK on in Lok Sabha because the DMK is making all kinds of wrong noises, in my opinion, about 3-language formula.
Yeah.
There is no Hindi here. It's 3 languages. The 3rd language is up to the person who wants to learn the language. And this is where they are really, really struggling right now. And anything Dharmendra Pradhan says, these people misinterpret because they want to try and make something out of it. And BJP shouldn't go back on the defensive. They need to stay on the offensive. Keep.
Right.
Sir, I heard 10 lakh signatures have already been collected now from parents.
Possibly yes. One day 2 lakh signatures came in. The day one, or rather within few hours, 2 lakh signatures came in for this campaign. See, I think, we should look at it, maybe DMK was aware of this TASMAC thing that is going to happen, blow on their face. That is why they used this diversion, because DMK is too good.
Absolutely.
Yep, they are the PhD doctorate in, doing this diversionary tactics. Simple thing, after the TASMAC raid happened, they just brought a controversy of rupee symbol with the Tamil letter Ru, right? Then they just caught the attention of the nation. Everybody started talking about it. And then the TASMAC went to the side. But thankfully, I think, Annamalai said that they are going to do the agitation on March 17th in front of the office. But what I'm saying is, as a political party, they should be staging a dharna daily.
Yeah.
Until the issue comes out. See, I was telling that during the Anna University case also, it is now nobody's attention, right? It was a very plum cake, handed over on the platter to you, and then, everybody dropped the ball. At least 10-20 people outside Anna universities just stage a dharna daily, get arrested because it's a political arrest, they'll come out. That's what the party should be doing. At least they will be floating in the media saying that, this issue is a major issue, and then it will reach the public. And likewise, TASMAC, if they start doing this agitation, do that on a daily basis. You don't need thousands of people blocking the road. All you need is 10 to 20 people with the party flag, raising the slogans, maybe get arrested, right? Because these people will be let down the same evening, maybe get arrested, and then, or if not, they just disperse after giving a sloganeering for an hour or so. So keep the public imagination, keep it in the public domain always, rather than just talking about it once and then but hope something is being done on that. But central leadership of BJP is taking DMK head on, which shows their resolve. The reason I'm saying that is Dharmendra Pradhan called them uncivilized and then withdrew his comment. But what happened? What did DMK do? Immediately they said, because he said very clearly, the DMK party MPs are uncivilized. He was talking about that DMK, not even Congress MPs from Tamil Nadu, not even other alliance partners. They said DMK MPs in parliament are uncivilized. That's all. Immediately they equated, saying that Dharmendra Pradhan called all Tamilians uncivilized. We taught civilization to the world and all those stuff. He withdrew that particular comment from the parliament because he felt that maybe that was an unparliamentary word against the parliamentarians, fellow parliamentarians. So he was decent enough to withdraw that. But his comment remained with respect to whatever he said. So the privilege motion that Kanimozhi brought on Dharmendra Pradhan included two portions. I was just wondering she will only bring it on the uncivilized comment, but fortunately she brought on with respect to the state did not agree to sign an MOU. The state did not meet Dharmendra Pradhan, and all those are now included. So Dharmendra Pradhan has a opportunity to release the communication, and otherwise he would have been prevented from releasing all the communication, official communication. Now that it is in the privilege motion, I only wish that the speaker agrees for the privilege motion, and then Dharmendra Pradhan will be able to table that in front of the privilege committee, which will become a public document then. The moment it becomes a public document, then Tamil Nadu, everybody in the world will come to know that the double standards and hypocrisy of the DMK. So next day, what happened? Shivraj Singh Chauhan took on DMK. When I visited officially to Tamil Nadu several times, none of the department people talked to me about my portfolio. They didn't want to meet. They didn't want to. So he took on the DMK, administration head on. Then came Madam Nirmala Sitharaman. When she started talking, the DMK MPs ran away from the parliament. She said, come and sit. Let me give a response. Go back to the people and then tell them that, I responded. She even brought very rightfully that, molestation of the dignity of a woman in the assembly. When, then opposition leader Jayalalitha was dragged, and then her sari they attempted to remove their sari, and everything happened inside the assembly. Even if it happens outside, it is a crime, but inside the assembly, is it civilized? Dayanidhi Maran says, "Why Moodu? Shut your mouth." Is that the civilized conversation that one should happen in the parliament? So rightfully, Dharmendra Pradhan called, but he withdrew. But Nirmala Sitharaman didn't want to. So they are taking head on. And then when this rupee symbol versus Ru came in, immediately Nirmala Sitharaman took on, and then the national media also caught the attention. My only thing is, don't lose focus on TASMAC, because DMK is too good in directing you to something else, and then you start running in the direction. All of a sudden, you forget what happened. What is the original topic that you should be fighting for? I can fully understand why ADMK is not involved in this fight with respect to TASMAC, because
60-40 formula, sir.
Yeah, their skeletons are there in the cupboard, so I can understand that. But BJP has no baggage on this, and they should go head on. They should go very aggressive on this, so that this becomes a talking point across the nation. I only hope that they do that. Central BJP is keen to do that in the parliament, and putting the MPs at uncomfortable position. I think in the state also they should go very bang on, and then make the the government of the day to answer. See what happens, Sree Iyerji. DMK is setting the narrative, and ADMK and BJP are responding to that, right? Instead, it should happen in reverse. BJP and ADMK should, as an opposition party, should set the narrative, and then they should what do you call, government should be answering, DMK should be answering, right? I think that's what should happen.
Yes, indeed. Sir, we have just a couple of questions. We'll take those and then we will finish up, sir. First one. Thank you, 𝗟𝗏𝗍𝗍𝗐 𝗍𝗏𝗧 for becoming a YouTube member. And next one, please. So we are just looking it up. Pamax wants to know, Annamalai is incapable of doing the bidding of BJP. What happened to the DMK tapes he released? What happened to the drug case? Senthil Balaji has become a minister again.
See, Senthil Balaji becoming I'll take it from the reverse order. Senthil Balaji becoming a minister is the prerogative of the chief minister. So that is what constitution allows. This case is pending in front of Supreme Court. So we'll wait for the Supreme Court's direction on this. On rest of the cases, once again, what happens is Annamalai is bringing these to the foray, public, and then, it just remains there. Next line of the party should take it forward, make this as a people issue, make this as a public issue. Rather, it just becomes a 1 day, 2 days, 1 week talking point, and then it just goes off, right? It has to be staying as a top of the mind recall for the public. So for doing that, they need to go a little aggressive. So it cannot be done by one single person. Once that is done, the next layer of the party up to the booth man. See, I'll come back to the booth management always, Sree Iyer, because that is something that is non-existent in Tamil Nadu with respect to the BJP, barring few places. I wouldn't say that it is non-existent, but it is very slim existence there. But what I'm saying is, up to the booth management, they should carry this message. They should make it as a talking point. Where are your street corner meetings? You should keep talking about this, keep on propagating. I know that media is not friendly one to the opposition. Media is a DMK friendly one. So media is not going to do a debate. Can you imagine all this TASMAC raid, Sree Iyer ji? I have not seen a debate that happened in the media. In social media, it did. Some people, but mainstream media, maybe one show would have happened. That should have been a big talking point. When Ram Mohan Rao, then Chief Secretary of Tamil Nadu, on a personal case, it was not raided as a Chief Secretary, but Ram Mohan Rao was raided by income tax that point in time. They went to the secretariat in his office to see if there are documents hidden there. DMK made it as if it is a violation of some protocol, and then they made it as the entire state was raided, right? But here a state department has been raided, no hue and cry. And that's where I'm saying that it has to become a talking point. Your street corner meetings, you need to find avenues to take it to the public. Not just one person cannot be shouldering this. You need an army of people to do that.
Sir, last question. Can we anticipate another noise like delimitation and NEP from TN government as TASMAC news is out?
Yeah. It will be. They'll keep doing many more of this. Next 1 year, you can see all those narratives setting by DMK. Well,
all we can say is point out the omissions and hopefully they'll close it fast. Unfortunately, individual may be good, but team play, getting the team to go along, inclusivity, a lot of things are still work in progress, is all I can say. Sriramji, we are going to come back in Tamil. Viewers, do come back in Tamil because there is something that happened on our last week's hangout. We got trolled a lot. I don't know, good or bad, but we are going to talk about that in the Tamil version. Do come back. And Sriramji, thank you so much, sir. Take a break for a few minutes and we'll be back again. Namaskar.
Sure.